Yeah, we dealt with a number of issues affecting the Caribbean region, Caricom more specifically. Issues to include transportation. We also looked at the whole issue of security within the region and the Caricom single market and economy to make sure that we get to the stage where we have a fully operational single market and economy. I would say that we have made significant progress on the issues. We also looked at other regional issues, disputes between Guatemala and Belize, Guyana and Venezuela, and even the issue involving the situation in Venezuela, the political situation in Venezuela. Caricom will be issuing a statement. In essence, we continue to stand on the international principles of non-interference and certainly respecting the sovereignty of the people of Venezuela, and for the Venezuelans to resolve the issues on their own, to come up with their own Venezuelan accord, and that there should be no form of military intervention in Venezuela. So we're hoping that the parties concerned will utilize their best efforts to come to the table, to talk, to use diplomacy and dialogue in resolving this issue.
And about Haiti, because it's one of CARICOM members, what is the position?
Well, we're also hoping too that the situation there would stabilize. We want this hemisphere to be maintained as a hemisphere of peace. And I would go back to Venezuela. We're very concerned about the threats of intervention in Venezuela. We think that should be avoided at all costs, that this hemisphere should be maintained as a zone of peace. And the CARICOM, would have issued a statement to that effect today. It will be published a little later in the day. And we just want to ensure that the parties come together. We're also very concerned about the issue of the sanctions. The fact that the sanctions would have exacerbated the situation in Venezuela. CARICOM did not go as far as speaking extensively about the sanctions, but I can certainly say in the case of Antigua and Barbuda, as far as we're concerned, the sanctions are obviously creating hardships to the people of Venezuela. And we are hoping that the countries so concerned will revisit the impact of those sanctions, that they're literally plunging innocent people in Venezuela into poverty. And we do not know that it is acceptable to seize Venezuela's billions of dollars and then to offer them a few $1 million in aid. That seems to be an unsustainable position. And whereas we believe that there should be dialogue and that there should be diplomacy in resolving the issues, I believe that there is a need to review the sanctions and to make sure that there's no suffering inflicted on the innocent people of Venezuela.
Antigua is also, besides being a CARICOM active member, it's ALBA.
Correct.
And PetroCaribe. For your country also, this situation with Venezuela, how affects in that relation?
It has. Venezuela has assisted countries in the Caribbean with petrol on credit over 25 years, very easy terms, and they would have allowed for the funding of certain social programs within our respective countries. So those programs, for the most part, would have been jeopardized. And even the fiscal space that countries would have had from the credit that they received from Venezuela would have been impacted as well. So in essence, it's a situation in which we have a vested interest, and we're just hoping that the issues will be resolved as soon as possible and that we can have peace and tranquility in Venezuela.